Hello everyone, today is an exciting day because we're going to be talking about something you've been requesting for quite a while, and that is product photography. Now this is not going to be like a sit down, let me give you tips kind of video. It's going to be a like, come with me and let's do product photography. So what I have going on is I have a bunch of different products that I need to get ready to post. So we're going to do that together. I didn't plan really anything on this video, so we're just gonna go for it. So first of all, I'm in my office. Clearly my first step when I am doing product photography is that obviously I need to print out said products. Now I already printed out 2 of them and I have a few more that I would like to do. And so today we have a bunch of, you probably can't hear me, we have a bunch of Bible verse coloring sheets going on today. So I have a set of specifically like Thanksgiving ones with like pumpkins, and all of these, actually not that one, but all of the other ones actually say Thanksgiving in the Bible verse. And then I have some that are gratitude, so you can use them any time of the year for gratitude. And then I have like a craft, and I think I have one more set, so I need to open up my laptop and double check that I have everything I need. So that's step number 1. Now I'm gonna set this down because it's kind of heavy. Now when you are printing, obviously that's quite a bit of printing. What I suggest is what I have done, and that is buy an HP printer, specifically because HP has this program called HP Instant Ink, and it is wonderful. HP Instant Ink is a subscription program where you subscribe to like a certain amount of pages that you print per month, and they automatically send you new ink. So I think ours is the like 300 page a month, which honestly we don't need. I think the only times we've come anywhere close is the months that I have been like printing out my entire books that I'm editing, you know, that I'm like writing, and that's not like a common thing. So the 300 page is what we have, but it's quite a bit. I think it's $15 a month that we pay as of right now, 2021, and it's great, y'all. Like, it is amazing because they just automatically, like, the printer sends them stuff and is like, hey, we need more ink. There's no difference between color and black and white, which I like because like when I was back to school season, I was decorating my classroom, I was able to print everything in full color and not feel guilty at all because they're gonna send me new ink. So like you can literally print like full page. Like I have actually these like art prints up here that I purchased on Etsy and printed out, and they're full page ink and like not a problem at all. So highly recommend. I will leave a link to that down below. So that's number 1, is make sure you have like a printer where you can print, and highly recommend the HP. Now your second step is going to be to make sure you have lighting. So what I would say, you can obviously see I have pretty good lighting, and I specifically will do my product photography at times in the day where I know I'm going to have good lighting in this room in particular. So one thing you need to do is know your house, know where you are and all that kind of stuff. So I know this office gets the best light in like early afternoon time. So if that is when I can do it, that's gonna be great. If I am in here at like 6 p.m. or really early in the morning, it's a lot harder to get enough light. Now I have more light in the front of my house during some of those times, so sometimes it's helpful to go to the front. I have really good lighting in the front of the house in the morning, but I'm usually at work in the morning, so that doesn't help. So just know where you are, and natural light is always gonna be your absolute best bet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just set up in front of this huge window over here, and I'm gonna add a little bit more for shadow's sake. So you might be able to see a little bit. It's not too bad. We'll test out how much shadowage we have, and if you have shadows, my suggestion is to put a lamp on the opposite side. So for example, when I film videos, I sit this way and I have the window light coming from this side, and I always put a lamp on this side. That way they kind of cancel out the other shadows. And I will do the same thing for product photography, especially if there's just not a lot of light that day. Sometimes I'll put one lamp on one side and one lamp on the other side. and they just kind of cancel each other out. So that's gonna be your best bet. Also go for cool lighting, not warm lighting. Cool lighting is gonna look better in your videos, in your products, in your words, Becca, in your pictures. Why was that so difficult? It's gonna look better in your pictures and better in your videos and all of that stuff, because it's just gonna look better. So look for those things. As far as lighting. You can also get, there's like soft boxes that people have that are literally like white boxes where it just kind of reflects the light around, and those are great. I have heard, I've never used one, so I can't vouch for them. So that's what I've got to tell you about lighting. And so lighting, printing. Oh, number 3 is we actually have to set up where to do it. So words are a struggle today. Set up where we're going to do this. So I used to have my desk in the middle of the room, and that worked really well for this because I could sit and have plenty of space and have like a nice white background. I currently have my desk up against the wall now, and I have a smaller desk because the piano's on my old desk. It's a whole thing. So what I've actually been doing is, here, I'll flip you around, is my office is quite a mess, but I am going to move the dog toy, move the books that need to go to school, and I am going to set up like right in here. And so I'll probably move this over, and I will put my like a white foam board, just like the 99-cent piece foam board, on top, so that I can get the benefit of the window lighting right here. And then I am going to suggest what I've been telling you for like years that you need, this little guy. So he's a phone holder that goes overhead, and it screws onto your desk. So you can see I've done this before. I have left it screwed on here, and I just take this out to make life easy when I'm trying to play piano or cello. And I will just move this, and I'll move that chair and have it up here. I hope that makes sense. I'll show you when we get that ready. All right, so here's my super fancy dancy setup. I'm gonna stick my phone in here and set it over top and have that as my workspace. And then I have a pillow and then like a poof that I can sit on. Make them look as realistic as possible. Obviously, you're going to want to fill them out. I will insert like a picture of blank ones here, and then I'll insert like pictures of colored ones. That is the downside to natural light, by the way, is that when a cloud goes by, it changes the whole lighting situation, but it's fine. And so as you can see, it is so much better when the worksheets are filled out, and especially if they're coloring sheets or if there's something that can be colored, color them in. It looks so much better. It pops off the page a lot better. Highly recommend, if you're gonna do this, do it right. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to go through, I'm gonna put my phone on here, and I'm gonna time lapse myself coloring in and filling in all of the different things, so that I now have videos of them that I can use as reels. I can use them on Pinterest. I can use them as Pinterest idea pins. I can use them on TikTok. Like, I can use them on stories. I can use them literally everywhere. And then I will also do a video like flip through of them so that you can see everything that there is. And then I will also take pictures of them. And that flip through, I'll do vertical and horizontal so that I can stick that up on TBT as a video preview. I usually do them with no talking. I just flip through them. Along with that, I will say that, you know, if you have a lot of pages, you're probably like, Becca, I don't want to color in all those things. And it is time consuming. So here's my little trick. I will do a couple of the pages and not all of the pages. So these sets of coloring pages both have 10. I am not going to sit here and color 20 coloring pages because that would take forever, and I don't want to do that. So instead, I'm just gonna go through and I'll pick out a few of like my favorites, and I will do those. And then you can photograph the colored ones, and you can do also like a colored in one with a black and white one, and it will still get that standout that you want, and you can kind of see the difference. And so that is really helpful and handy. So that is what I'm going to suggest to you. That's what I am going to do And it just makes it a little bit easier, so you still can take pictures of everything, but you don't have to color them all in, because that does take forever. So usually I'll do 3 to 5 out of my sets of worksheets, which I think the longest set of worksheets I have is like 15. So 3 to 5 is a good starting point. That is where I would suggest that you go. So without further ado, I guess we should get started. This lamp, by the way, people are always like, you know, oh, you should get a ring light. Don't get a ring light, get a lamp. This thing was 10 bucks at Walmart. Got some nice light bulbs, and it makes all the difference. Like, seriously, go watch some of my videos from like a year or 2 ago, and then watch a more recent one and just look at the lighting difference. It's because of this lamp. I want to get another one and stick it in this corner if it'll fit. I don't know if it'll fit, but I would like to. Or just, I can like, yeah, because I want, anyway, get it. All right, so everything is colored, cut, glued, all the good stuff. It took me about an hour and a half to do 4 out of 3 sets, so 12 coloring sheets plus a cut and paste memory verse activity and 2 pumpkin crafts. So that's not too terribly bad. I usually figure it's gonna be about an hour-ish, so that's not terrible. So now I'm gonna set up and take some pictures, and frankly that's the easy part after getting everything ready. So I'm just gonna adjust things. You want to have a couple of things to help add a little bit of color, especially if you have black and white things. So I need to get some like color sheets of paper. That would be the best, or you could even just paint like a foam board. I tried that, but I used like the poster boards and they like got all wrinkled. So I think on the foam board it would work better. So I might try that. I might get some paper, but usually a couple of easy things. I'll usually add like maybe a candle. Scissors are good, crayons are good, even if they don't need crayons, pens, pencils, all of those things. I've heard pencils, like number 2 pencils, actually really help in your product photography. A lot of times I have a couple of like small percussion instruments, and I'll add those to my music ones, maybe like my Bible and my Bible stuff. So I'll just play around with it until it looks okay, and then I just snap photos, and I always do them both vertically and horizontally, so that then just kind of like whatever I need I have, and it just makes it easier so that I never have to reprint these, I never have to recut them, I never have to recolor them. I have everything I need right now. So let me get this done. Alright, so I'm not going to do all of this now, but the next step after all of that is to, of course, as soon as I start doing this, my dog starts messing their stuff. So you look at all the photos and all the videos. The next step is going to be to take pictures and edit them. So some of them are really simple. I am gonna, here, let me prop you up a little bit higher. I do some really creative things to avoid having to pull out my tripod, and sometimes I'm like, it would have been easier to just pull out my tripod. So the next thing is you're gonna edit them. So I actually edit here, let me show you. I love Lightroom for Instagram photos. Color Story is another good one. I think Lightroom's the only one I use, but my problem with it is that any of these apps, you have to load your pictures in and then you have to export them, and it like takes way more time than you need. So I just go in my actual Photos app and edit from here. So all little things are down at the bottom. You can start with just the auto if you don't know what you're doing, you've never done this before. I have gotten to the point where I know exactly what I want. So I always up the exposure a teensy bit, depending on how much we need. I like the brilliance to be very high up, and then usually up the brightness a bit. I also up the black point so that any of the text really stands out. I like to up the saturation a little bit, and then the vibrance just a teensy bit. And then on the warmth, I will make it a little bit cooler because I prefer mine to have a cool toned. And that is about where I want it. So this picture is basically this picture, but horizontal, and you can see quite a difference. The camera is actually adjusting for lighting all of it, which is a little bit extra funny. But that is kind of just how I edit, and I can do that pretty quickly. I'll just like throw on a movie or a TV show or YouTube video and like go through and edit all of those all at once, which is why I like this versus an app, because when you have all, oh, here's a good example. Look how much different that one looks than the other ones. Isn't that crazy? When you have all of these pictures, like I don't want to upload and it's just too much. So I'm just going to do that. You can also, by the way, edit videos on your app. So you can do the same thing, just click the little edit and click there. Also, you can turn the sound off. Now this is a time-lapse. Time-lapses don't have sound, but you know, that's nice. And then same thing, I'm a little more sparing on videos because I think there's a little bit more leeway, and also because the lighting might change. I don't want it to look super wonky. And then it takes a minute, so it won't show you, you can see it says preparing, so it won't show you exactly what it's gonna look like right this second. But even just from here, you can see like the giant difference between these two. And like those are all edited because those are old. So really, like that is why it is so important to edit your videos and your photos and stuff. And again, I mean, it takes not a lot of time. It doesn't take a lot of effort is the main thing. Just play around with it until you get to a point where you like it. And then once you get them, you can do them. In Lightroom, you do have presets. So that's the reason why a lot of people like Lightroom. You can just basically add a preset on top and it'll like adjust all those things to where you want them to be. But again, I just think it's easier to not have to move things in and out. So these photos I will now use in my TPT listings. I also list my Becca's Bible class stuff to Etsy, and so I'll use them on there, which actually means I have to use extra. I have to have extra photos because on Etsy you can have up to 10. On TPT you can only have 3 thumbnails. I'll put them on my cover. I will put them in my thumbnails. Sometimes I put them in my previews. I will use them on Instagram. I use them on Pinterest. I use them in products and in emails. If I'm talking about something, I'll add a picture, and that makes a huge difference. Like, it is a game changer. And if you don't believe me, here, I would love this. If you have started using product photography and noticed a difference, please leave it in the comments so that other people can read that and realize like it's not just me saying this, like it really truly is. And I know quite a few of you have taken my advice about this and it's changed your life. Do it. If I could go back, I would add product photography to all of my products because it is that big of a deal. Huge difference. So there is that. It's time consuming if you batch it like I do. So like I just got 6 different listings ready. You don't have to do that many, obviously. You can do less, and again, you can cheat by just doing some of the pages. You don't have to do all the pages. Yeah, so it is time consuming, but it is so worth it. If you can do your listing page really well, and you can, you know, do the product photography, you can do the description really well, like do the title well, you know, do like all of your preview well, like all of those things, then it'll save you a lot of time in the long run because people will be so much more convinced to purchase because they can see your product, they can see what it looks like when it's all colored in because it looks so much better. They can see, you know, just all of those things that make such a huge difference. So all of that to say, do product photography. You'll thank me later, I promise. And that's all I got for now. So I'm actually not gonna edit these now because frankly, I don't feel like it. And so I'm gonna go do something else because actually I'm filming this on my birthday. I like left work early. I took a half day, which I never ever, I've never taken personal time where like I had to have a sub. So it's been like stressing me out all day. But I took a half day, and so I came home early and chilled for a while. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go do what I love the most. Work on products. So y'all know I love my business. So well, that, and then also I was like, if I get it done now, then I won't have to think about it this weekend when we're like celebrating my birthday. So there was that little piece of it too. I can kind of like relax and not worry about it. So all that to say, thank you guys so much for watching. Do the product photography, it's worth it. I'll see you later. Bye.